it's definitely out of my comfort zone, I think. It's not something I really expected to do, I guess. But it's been really nice. It's been a great experience. The older I get, I think the more I recognize kind of things I've picked up from your art in mine. I think when I was younger, I wasn't really a fan of your art. I didn't really like it that much because I was like a 10-year-old girl. But now I find a lot more similarities in our art. But
the colors are beautiful on this one.
Yeah. It's definitely my favorite out of, I think, all of these. I did it over the summer for a class I was taking. We had to take a photo or a background. From that, we had to add, I think, 10 objects that start to like tell a story. And then after that, we had to add a person to it or some character. I kind of wanted to, instead of telling like a full, complete story, leave it a little bit open to interpretation and keep it a little bit more mysterious. I think sometimes when you tell a little too much of a story, it can just make it a little like, I don't know.
The other thing she's done a lot of, what she didn't show here, is like you do, I guess it's sort of like fan art, where it's where she takes a character, but then you do your own version of the character from different TV shows.
I haven't done as much of it because I guess I've kind of started to grow out of it a little bit, but
It's a kind of thing that can be really helpful for pivot for exploring certain kinds of things, right? So
I think
taking somebody else's work and expanding on it.
It really helped me develop like style kind of and color too. And then now I've kind of, I don't know. I don't rely on it as much because I think it used to be for a while was really the only art I did.
Oh, sure.
So and now I've kind of the opposite way. I don't really do much of it at all. I mean, I've done a lot of watercolor, but I kind of really tried to let the watercolor kind of just do its thing instead of controlling it as much. And you can get some really great textures with that, and I think that, I don't know, that's what I love about watercolor.
Yeah, that's well. This is the artist right here, Tim Olson.
Hi. Yeah,
Love
nice
your
to
work.
meet you. Yeah.
And this is Lena, his daughter.
Lena.
Hi.
Yeah, she's got her show.
Olson and
upstairs.
Olson.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love your work.
Thanks.
I really like your piece on the far end, Walnut Street.
Yeah, that's probably the newest one. That was still wet when I hung it up here. Yeah.
I'll find Maureen. She must be up there.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I did a portrait of Lena and she did a portrait of me. She made me look younger, I think. I made her look older.
Yeah. We both kind of have the same look on our faces though.
A mug shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a portrait of Harpo for him, and then this guy wanted me to do a picture of Dan Gable. I had this job restoring stained glass windows at St. Mary's, which is now Steeple Square. So I was thinking about doing my own window, and I was looking at older Gothic windows that were more primitive or maybe more stylized. And at the same time, I was looking at these wrestling pictures, they kind of posed wrestling pictures, and I saw a similarity between the way those figures were handled. And then Lena, I had her do the corn border on this one. Yeah.
I didn't really know how to do it. I mean, it didn't take a long time to figure out, but I just kind of
So the hardest part for her is I did a few pieces, and then she did some that looked too good, I would say. So she had to kind of
Make it a little
yes,
messier.
a little messier,
Yeah.
to make it match up. So these are done by just coating the piece of glass with a black tracing paint, and then she went through and scraped the paint away to make the corn, and then we fired it. This one I like. That was a hard one to do. Even with Lena's help, it took about a month just to put the whole thing together and fire everything. So that's after I had the design, you know. There's a studio that gave me all their cutoffs.
Okay.
So if they're doing a bigger piece, they have all these smaller pieces. And then some of this, like this stuff is salvaged from a church window. So people will, because they know I do stained glass, they'll give me, you know, like a window that's falling apart. So I didn't even start painting until we moved to Dubuque. Yeah, so that was a rule at one time, and nobody, no, you know, so it was probably in the 1950s that was still the rule.
Such a mind.
Yeah, and Lena has stuff
Okay.
upstairs. You'll have
And
to.
you're Lena.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was at Outside the Lines. I just flashed back.
Yeah.
I just remember you walking in and
Yeah.
just like, oh, this sweet family. And then
Yeah.
little did we know.
Painting, painting as much as like a kid paints, you know.
She would make these construction things with paper and tape. That's all you needed. And so, in room 1, greed. In room 2, envy. Sloth in room 3. Lust in room 4. Gluttony in room 5. Pride in room 6. And then wrath down in the lobby. There's some kind of an altercation over.
And what's going on with the dog over here?
Well, so yeah, I think it's Master is in the lobby. So when I planned this, it was going to be I was going to have it be a robbery. So I was going to have somebody waiting in the car,
Yeah.
like the getaway driver. But then I don't know. I just realized a dog might be funnier. So I had a catalog of mobile homes from the 60s, and that's where these 3 came from.
So where do you go to school?
I go to senior.
Okay.
I'm a
so
senior.
you're just a youngin' doing all
Yeah.
that. Good for you. Wow, you're already having your first show? That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's exciting.
So this is just like a few blocks away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think I was taking Lena home from school one day, and this is when you're in junior high, so I've been thinking about doing this for a while. It's kind of inspired by that Grant Wood painting, The Birthplace of Herbert Hoover, just with colors and I guess I was going for the same feeling. Yeah, I just put the varnish on it today, so it's still drying. This is based on a painting of the Madonna and Child that's at the Milwaukee Art Museum. So again, it's a I wish I had the postcard to show you, but it's a combination of things. So in that painting, there was a halo, but it was also, the way it was done was kind of in relief. It's salvaged, but I bent it. It also has the three-dimensional stuff, and so I just used the logo for that, for the centerpiece. Yeah, children in these paintings are funny. They're hard to do too. So sometimes they're painted like little adults. If they're doing a painting of a saint, or yeah.
literally about 3 months ago.
Finally, I bought a bunch of
You're taking off?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt again.
It's okay.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Great
Yeah.
to see you both. That was so fun for me to see your work.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.